one. Hey, Legoholics! All right, we have the Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy Dark Falcon set review. Let's get into the information here. 75389 is the set number. The retail price of $179.99 US dollars. Piece count being 1,579 pieces. The price per piece, even though it really doesn't matter, is 0.11. VIP points, because we do not say insider here, 1,170 if you purchase this on Lego.com or at a Lego store. Minifigure count is 6. The measurements are 5 inches, which is 12 centimeters height, 17 inches, which is 43 centimeters length, and 12.5 inches, which is 32 centimeters width. The weight of this set is, it is never kind to ask the weight of a Lego set. Don't you know this? The volume, which is of course the most important information that people are here for, is 16,512 centimeters cubed. And of course the surface area, which we also have to know about, is 4,552 centimeters squared. Let's go ahead and take a look at the minifigures. I will be going from my least favorite to my most favorite when it comes to this set. The categories of how I look at minifigures is, of course, the Gers Papa. If you don't know what a Gers Papa is, that is very shocking. I would have thought everybody would know what a Gers Papa is, since I just now created that for this video. But if you do not know, that is okay, because I'll go ahead and go over what the Gers Papa is. Gers Papa is, of course, GRSPP, is pronounced Gers Papa, and that stands for goofiness, relevancy, shock factor, piece count with accessories, and printing. Let's go ahead and start with the least favorite minifigure, in my opinion, of this set, and that is going to be Darth Ray. This Darth Ray minifigure is definitely a minifigure that belongs to this set. Although this is a legitimate Lego series of goofiness, Darth Ray is not an original idea. In fact, Lego aren't the first ones to use Darth Ray. Darth Ray first appeared in The Rise of Skywalker as some sort of illusion being cast from the Sith Wayfinder. Rey, quote-unquote, fought this illusion as it mocked her, being the future of the Sith. Was this truly an illusion, or was this a memory for Rey? I think there could be more, a lot more, to the story of Rey than what people think, but from what current things are looking like, it may not matter. It might actually be a Rey who, and that question does not get answered. She does come with the binocular piece for her blades. This should not have been surprising since her saber folds. Although we do get a lightsaber hilt in the extra pieces, there's nothing about it being for her which would have made sense. We get a hood piece and a very nice fabric cape. These two pieces pair nicely with her torso printing to make that cloaked effect. Not having printing on her arms and legs does not really bother me, but her printing is there more for the sake of her having printing. She does have a double-sided face. One is where she is angry, and the other where she resembles the face of your girlfriend while you are building Lego instead of cuddling. All in all, this is a nice minifigure to add to my collection, but definitely my least favorite in this set. Her Gers Papa info is on screen now. The goofiness is 6, relevancy is 10, shock factor 0, piece count with accessories 8, printing 4, and that values to a Gers Papa rating of 5.6. Let's go on to the next minifigure, David Hasselhoff. Nope, that's Beach Luke Skywalker. Beach Luke is not what I was expecting whatsoever when it came to this series. I do absolutely love the route they took with Luke for Rebuild the Galaxy, but I do think it would have been much cooler to see him in his own set rather than hitching a ride on the Dark Falcon, maybe even his racer. If you were to imagine a surfer dude Skywalker, they nailed it. There's not too much to say about this minifigure. His relevancy to this set is almost comparable to Yoda in the 2013 501st ATRT, or Evan Peel in the 2012 Stacey Tin's Jedi Starfighter. He is there because it can make sense if you make a story out of it. 2012 being the case of 2 Jedi for 1 Starfighter, and 2013 being the case of the Yoda Chronicles. He does have a nice setup though on this ship. He has his blue milk and his gaming console. Pretty interesting. Whose side is he actually on though? His Girth Paput information is on screen. Goofiness being a 10, relevancy an 8, shock factor 10, piece count with accessories 7, printing 6, equaling a Girth Paput rating of 8.2. Alright, we're moving up the list here, moving up the ladder into some people's surprise. We have... Yep, it's Darth Jar Jar, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Darth Jar Jar is indeed number 4 on this list. I know, might be crazy. How do I even begin with Darth Jar Jar? Well, let me talk about how unexpected this is. We have an official Star Wars title that contains a legitimate Darth Jar Jar, the key to all of this. I do think it is interesting that he comes with a double-bladed lightsaber instead of just a regular one-sided blade. It reminds me of the original theory that he was the Phantom Menace, and he would wield a double-bladed lightsaber because it would be something more advanced than the simple Jedi teachings. Another option for him also could have been a curved hilt like Dooku, since it was rumored that Tyrannus was supposed to be Jar Jar. The printing on Darth Jar Jar is very underwhelming, although you could say that LEGO purposefully did this to play off of the time period of how they were printing minifigures during the time of the start of the Jar Jar theories, the Darth Jar Jar theories. It doesn't really help that much though, but you could think that way. Something interesting to note though is that it appears that Darth Jar Jar plays a much larger role in this set rather than in the show. I'd keep an eye out for that if they decide to continue this series. Darth Jar Jar's Girth Paput information is on screen now. Goofiness of a 10, relevancy of a 10, shock factor of a 10, piece count with accessories of a 7, printing with a 2. His Girth Paput rating, 7.8. Moving on to the next minifigure, we got Bounty Hunter C-3PO. I absolutely love this character in the series. Turning the unwelcome quotes of C-3PO into intimidating threats was amazing. The printing on this minifigure is awesome. I also love the fact that he had his own freighter as well. Would have loved to get that as a set as well. Seems like Bounty Hunter C-3PO is delivering Luke to the Sith, but is it for credits or to rescue Jedi Vader, or both? The Girth Paput information is on screen now. Goofiness a 10, relevancy a 6, shock factor a 10, piece count with accessories a 3, printing a 9, and the Girth Paput rating of 7.6. Alright, second to first, second to last, I don't know, but second favorited minifigure, in my opinion, of this set, we have Darth Dev. Originally thinking that this was going to be a Darth Ben Solo type of character, because that's why I thought it was. They had Rey, and it was like a Darth Jar Jar. It was like, okay, so Darth Jar Jar turns Rey and Ben to the dark side. Alright, cool. But it wasn't that. However, I do appreciate this character a lot. The interesting observation of Darth Dev is that he isn't different from how he acted in the old galaxy. The only difference is that he can use the Force now. His motives, his morality, his greed, none of that changed whatsoever. It does remind me a little bit of the story of X1 and X2 from Battlefront Elite Squadron. The printing is absolutely outstanding on this minifigure. I believe this is a perfect minifigure. I'm excited to see how they will handle this character if Rebuild the Galaxy continues. His Grips Papa information is on screen now. Goofiness at a 10, relevancy at a 10, shock factor is at a 6, P-Scout with accessories a 7, printing a 10, Grips Papa rating of an 8.6. Which leaves the best minifigure of this set being Jedi Vader. Although the story of how this Vader became Vader is still a mystery, this is by far one of the best Lego minifigures of all time. I was shocked when it became official that they were using this as Jedi Vader. This design of Vader is not new, but was first introduced in Star Wars Infinities, which was a Star Wars What If comic series. Now, I have never read any of those comics, but I do know that Vader the White is from there. When it comes to the printing on this minifigure, it is of course Vader, but it looks cleaner, and his face has a pure smile on it, unlike the regular Darth that we all know and love. It captures a story of Anakin that is a lighter side version of his darker story. We don't see this version of Anakin where he is older and no cybernetics and he is the master or even a grandmaster. No, this is showing some reality for this character, and that what happened in the past didn't define him. The suit is to help him rather than torment him like it does Darth Vader. Burst Papa information is on the screen now. The goofiness is a 10, relevancy is an 8, shock factor a 10, P-Scout with accessories an 8, and printing a 10. A Burst Papa rating of 9.2. Alright, the Dark Falcon itself. This is indeed my first Millenium Falcon set to own, and I do not regret it. Maybe a regret is the fact that I built this on a black table. The self-control I had when I finished building this set from wanting to pick it up and run around the house making swooshing sounds was non-existent. The best place to hold for best swooshability is here. Trust me, I'm a swooshologist. I studied swooshology, the study of swoosh that was founded by Stephen Algov Swoosherstein in his famous village of Swooshin. The color palette for this set is also very cool. I have always loved red and black, and so have the Sith. Red, black, and gray is a fantastic grouping of colors. It paired well with this scene where we see the silhouettes of the Falcon, and it looks like a symbol of hope, but it's far from that. Starting with the cockpit, this entire piece comes off for you to place a minifigure. Something that is interesting about this is when we normally see the Falcon, we see the cockpit as a meeting place, but on here, there's only room for one pilot. Moving along, most of the ship does open. We have a throne that has a big computer screen across from it. This throne is of course for Darth Jar Jar, the key to all of this. Not far from there, we have 2 bunks, which was pretty cool to build. Moving from there, we have a chill area, a surfboard, lounge chairs, a flat screen TV, the Galaga 4, and a nightstand for the blue milk and controller to beach Luke Skywalker. Which side is he even on, though? Go around the corner and we have a jail cell that is to contain Jedi Vader. The rest of the interior is roomy, and there are some additional details in this build. I am feeling certain that there is going to be more to come from all of this, and maybe that is not a bad thing. When analyzing the set after being built, I thought about what the Ebon Hawk would have looked like if it fell into the Sith Empire after KOTOR, or what would it and the crew look like if there was an option to join the Triumvirate at the end of KOTOR 2. It definitely made me think about what all of the what-if scenarios in Star Wars are, and how those would have even affected the simplest things as a change in color and design of ships and weaponry. Now, before I get to the final thoughts that I have of the set, it would be wrong for me not to try to fix something in this set. That thing that I'm going to be trying to fix is going to be, of course, Darth Jar Jar, the key to all of this. In order to have this title for Jar Jar, we need to understand that he is the mastermind behind it all. And he should be showing that for himself as well. I was going through ideas of what I could do to make this minifigure better, and I was comparing this Darth Jar Jar to my own personal Darth Jar Jar or Dark Gungan minifigure I made a long time ago and gave him the name Darth Malevolence. When I was looking at all of this, I'm just like, alright, I think I have an idea of what I could do with Darth Jar Jar. Because, you know, the Darth Dev minifigure is pretty cool. But I feel like it still should have been a Ben Solo-esque character. It should have been a Ben Solo. I believe that's what it should have been. So, I'm going to use some parts from Darth Dev to help with Darth Jar Jar. I also decided to look through some of my extra pieces because Darth Dev is going to need some upgrades to his look as well to really capture a Darth Devastator look, but to actually be Ben Solo, the grandson to Darth Vader, to actually walk down a path like Anakin Skywalker. And who better yet to do that than someone who met Anakin on Tatooine in his own homestead than Darth Malevolence himself, Jar Jar Binks. After working on this and getting it all together, I personally am pleased with how this looks, and I got some major motivation to want to get back into playing Star Wars Old Republic. It's been a while since I've logged on to that, and I still have a lot of stories to finish, not gonna lie. But finishing up these two minifigures, making them look so much better, I am very pleased to see a better and legitimate Darth Jar Jar, the key to all of this. Or maybe even this should be Jar Jar Binks and Ben Solo. But truly, they are Darth Malevolence, the key to all of this, and his apprentice, Darth Devastator. All in all, I am giving this set a genuine 5-minute hit rating. From sitting here thinking, is Surfer Guy Skywalker actually a third imposter? To what would Jedi Vader's hallway scene look like? To is Darth Jar Jar the key to all of this going to return and take the throne of the Sith? To so much more. It captures this vehicle that we honestly didn't even see much of, and hopefully we get to see it again. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the set in the minifigures, and also, did any of you upgrade Darth Jar Jar, or did some of you degrade Darth Jar Jar by him being unalived? I got nothing else to say, but for you to have an awesome, God bless day. Rex out.